Well, we are live in Billings. It is the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies for the Montana Football Hall of Fame. And waiting as people make their rounds, it's going to be a fun time tonight here in Billings. Of course, the media opportunities right now will be joined by, I believe, most of, not all of the inductees today. Had fun yesterday at the golf tournament, and Jason Walker Show, of course, live. We are presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it is your choice. It is your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. And, man, had a great time at the golf tournament yesterday. Our team tied for first with Mick Durham and his group. And then all of a sudden, they did some random weird thing, and then we were all of a sudden second. So, but we did tie for first, our group. We had a great time yesterday. Down here so far in Billings, and having a good time. So hopefully you're hanging out and enjoying this like us. And again, it's special a segment here, edition of the Jason Walker Show. And we're going to have some good times. We're going to talk to Brent Musburger. We're going to talk to Bob Beers, Dan Carpenter, Travis Lulay, Ken Amato, Marty Morningweg will join us. It's going to be a good next hour or so. So just bear with us as we roll through and cycle through, and everybody stops by. Sure, yeah. Yeah, we'll get, come on over here, sir. Steve Okanowski, right? You say
Okanowski.
Let me move that up here a little bit. So.
Okay.
Hey, congratulations.
Well, it's a great honor, and totally appreciate the recognition. So, coming in and meeting all the great former and present inductees, it's, like I say, a great honor.
So, take me through your playing days real quick.
Well, professionally, I was drafted by Atlanta. Second round, I ended up in Buffalo in 1972 and 73, when Buffalo was just emerging. O.J. Simpson was coming into his own. Ended up getting traded to Green Bay in the spring of 1974. I was with Green Bay in 74 and 75. Got cut, went over to St. Louis. I was in St. Louis for a year and a half with Don Coryell. Part of a year with Cleveland, and then I went up to Winnipeg for a year. So.
Steve Okanowski joining us here, Jason Walker Show, a special edition of the show as we are live in Billings. You got this is a great class. You've had to wait a while to go in, but what was that, when you first got that call to say, hey, we're putting you into the Montana Football Hall of Fame?
Well, it was just a feeling of appreciation, I guess, and I came back to see Barry Darrow the year before, and I met some people here, and Barry, I think, pushed for my induction a lot, so.
How you been spending retirement?
I fish a lot. In fact, I was on the Missouri River a couple days ago. I fish back in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I fish a lot this year. I go to Florida and Arizona just to get some sunshine from Green Bay. But if I have my druthers, I'll be fishing.
So you're living in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Stayed there. What's your thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers situation?
Well, I think their opportunities for winning a Super Bowl are going to be limited for a while, and I can understand why he's upset. I would hope that they come to some sort of reconciliation here, and he's back on the field, because you can't be looking down the road when you're that close to possibly winning a Super Bowl. You can't say, hey, we're going to go through a rebuilding process. People got to swallow their pride a bit, but that's up to Rodgers and see which way he wants to go.
So have some fun here. Mike Van Diest, the great coach at Carroll College, huge Green Bay Packer fan. His whole family are Green Bay Packer fans. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him when I bring up Green Bay. So
okay.
he had such a career at Carroll College, a great coach.
Yeah, Carroll's got a great program. One year I had to get a special license because I had 14 people from Montana in my house that were all going to be attending a Green Bay Packer game. So, yeah, I mean, they don't allow that type of riffraff to gather all at once, So, yeah. But the village president lives right across the street from me, so I got.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. There you go. You mentioned OJ when you were so you go from Atlanta to Buffalo. What was that like, spending time with O.J. Simpson? And forget what's taken place since his retirement, but how good was he?
He was obviously the best running back I've ever seen, but he was a real outgoing guy. The NFL is real unpretentious, and I mean, I played a game of horse with the guy once, slapped hands with him, joked with him, and I got a long story about how he was in Hawaii and ran into some college kids from Montana. Asked if they knew Steve Okanowski, and that was 10 years after I'd last seen him.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
that's really cool. How many teammates do you stay in touch with nowadays?
Barry, Eric Torkelson back in Green Bay, not too many. But there's a lot of players that come through, for games.
Sure.
And we have an alumni, a great alumni situation there where I get tickets for some select games, and then it's great to see. Of course, I'm at the upper end of the spectrum in age, and I still see Jerry Kramer once in a while, and some of the Paul Horning. They had a thing for Bart Starr a couple of years. Well, it was last fall, but the fall before,
okay.
And they brought back. There must have been 70, 80 alumni there. It was great time.
That's awesome, man. I could sit and listen to stories, but other people want to sit and talk with you too. So I'll let you go, but I appreciate the time.
Well, I thank you very much. So
Steve Okanowski, he's going in the Hall of Fame, Montana Football Hall of Fame tonight. That induction coming up officially tonight here at the Billings Hotel and Convention Center. And I got to tell you, everybody has been super fantastic. Mandy and her crew with the banqueting and everything. So I gotta appreciate them, and it's going to be a good time. We are live over here. Oh my gosh, got a chance to talk with this guy a little bit last night. If you're a Bobcat fan, you'll recognize him. Even if you're not, you'll recognize him. The great Travis Lulay. How are you, my friend?
I am great, Jason. Good to be on the show.
Hey, I can't not do the Lulay.
Go ahead.
Did you ever get sick of hearing that?
No. Well, there was a time or two when I try to sneak in somewhere and somebody would recognize me and start it up, and I'm exposed. I can't sneak out of here. I'm going to be talking to people for a few more minutes.
So, like the R-Bar, for instance, maybe?
For instance. Or Spectators.
Or Specs, yeah. There was lots of great places in those.
Yeah.
How's retirement?
It's been good. I get beat up a lot less, so that's a plus. No, it's been good. The transition to life after football has been good. You get stuck in it for so long, and, I've heard it described, and I think it's pretty accurate. It's like you're in the eye of the storm, and you don't really see what's going on outside because it's so intense focus, and the competition's so high, and you always got to be on your game, and they literally film everything we do, right? So you're just always on. And the emotional highs are really high, and the lows are really low, and so you just ride that roller coaster. And so, at the end, I worked for the club for a year as I was transitioning out of playing after I retired, and I just knew, that home was calling, Oregon was calling. My wife and I went to high school together, so she has family there. My brother and sister-in-law, my brother married an Anaconda girl, actually brought her back to Oregon. So, he has 4 girls. I have 3 girls. That's what we do, make little girls apparently. But we're raising our kids around the cousins and grandparents and stuff, and so that's been really good. It feels good. I haven't been, it's a bit of a scary ledge to step off outside of the world of pro football, which I've been in for so long, and but it's been a really good transition the last year and a half.
I may know the answer to this, but favorite moment in the Bobcat uniform?
You might know the moment. Yeah, would have been November of 2002 in Missoula.
Okay, yeah, that was
particularly in hindsight, that was pretty special. And not knowing, I joke that probably the best recruiting pitch Montana State did when they were seeking me out was to not tell me the streak against the rival Montana Grizzlies. So, and so I actually, this is no joke. I learned that during training camp that year. I had a buddy from Helena, and he was, we're in the students, and he's like, we got to do something about this streak. And I'm, what streak? What are we talking about? He's like, oh, you don't know? We haven't beat. Like, Montana State hasn't beat Montana since 1984. I was like, holy cow, yeah, we got to, what are we doing? So to be a part of the team that was able to win and then win 3 out of 4, and it just kind of, you see where the program's at now, and the money that's been infused there and the stadium expansion, it's bowled in, it's turfed out, there's lights. I mean, the brand new athletic complex, football athletic complex, and things going in. I mean, it's really exciting, and you wear a little bit of pride at being an alum, seeing what's happening in Bozeman. So hopefully Coach Brent Vegan can continue that thing on the right train. So looking back, it was fun to be a part of, an era of the program that kept the ball rolling in the right direction.
And really got it started, going forward. I don't know if I asked you this last night. How long was the run against NAU at Bobcat Stadium?
Was
it 60 or 64?
I don't remember the length of the run. I just remember the timing of the run. And there was 40 seconds left. The game looked over. Had a long run for a touchdown. And then it was like, well, we still got to get an onside kick.
Right.
Score again. And we did.
Yeah.
Nate Cook had a perfect onside kick. Corey Smith recovered. I remember sliding on our sideline. We got the ball back on the 40 with 25 seconds or something, and scrambled once, got a completion here, and then ended up sneaking it in for the game winner. That was a good one. That's a fun one. I could talk about that game for a long time.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
All right, I got to know, did you guys on the sidelines, could you hear the first down call from this press box? And then obviously the students got super involved.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. First down's good. Whenever you're hearing first downs, we're on the field. I mean, I was geared up. I was getting the next play, but I wanted to hear it. Yeah.
So you're like, hold on, coach. Wait a second.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Just signal it to me, because if you're talking when they're hollering, I can't get the play out.
Oh my gosh. All right. So how often do you get back to Bozeman? How many games do you attend now?
I'd love to get to more. I mean, honestly, last year didn't happen.
Right.
And the year prior, I was still working for the Lions football club, the BC Lions in Canada. So I was still tied down to the games. I was doing some media stuff, doing a little pregame radio show, and then I traveled a handful of times. So I did come back to one game that year. Obviously, when I was playing, I could never get back because we were playing games. So I've only been to, since my brother graduated in 2008. I saw a handful of those games because I was in 2007, I was on the injured reserve with the Seahawks, so I could come to a good bit of those games. In 2008, I saw a game or two in between football. Spent most of that season with the Seahawks in 2008, and then I went to one game in 2011. Right after we won the Grey Cup, actually, the Bobcats were hosting a quarterfinal game, I want to say, so they were still alive, still playing. So I saw that game. It was a win in Bozeman, and then I didn't go again until the fall of 19, and I got invited back, and they did a little tribute to having retired that spring. So those are 2 games I've been to in the last 12 years. So I hope to get to more. It was so dang fun to get back. Obviously I got a lot of guys from my era that are now season ticket holders and boosters and fans and whatnot, and so it's just obviously I still see so many familiar faces. We got my wife and I's home base. After I graduated, we got married right out of college, and home base was in Bozeman for us. So the first 4 or 5 years I was playing professionally, I was chasing football from home in Bozeman. And so we still have a lot of great relationships there. So, I mean, I look for an excuse to get back whenever I can.
Oh, man. I would love I got to get you on the show again when we can have more time.
Let's do it.
Because I know you got to go.
Give me a holler, you bet. Yeah, I'm making the rounds today, but whenever you got a chance.
Congratulations on the induction.
Yep.
I know it means a lot.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, it really does. Really, I mean, tremendous group of individuals. And this Montana Football Hall of Fame is a pretty special thing to now get to be a part of. So I'm humbled.
Travis Lulay, everybody. Appreciate
Thanks
it,
much.
man. Take care.
You bet.
It's lots of great memories from those Bobcat days doing PA announcing up there at Bobcat Stadium, and he was one of those guys that got it all kicked off, and championships, and of course beating the Grizz. That's a big deal, but that was fun. I had a great time at the banquet last night too. Good to see everybody. It's great to just be hanging out and talking with these people that are just regular people, regular dudes, man. It's super cool. So appreciate Colter Nuanez from ESPN Missoula. He's like in charge of the media room here, so he'll be bringing us guests in and out. So this will be fun as we continue live here on the Jason Walker Show, the Major Mortgage Man Cave, and this is cool. This is really cool, and like I said, man, we get a chance to do some cool stuff with this show, and because of our great sponsors and everything. So appreciate everybody being here. This is super cool. I think we got another one coming over. Yep. Let's go from one Bobcat great to another. Right? Ken Amato joining us. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. How you doing?
Good, good. You get that call 2 years ago now, I guess, and say, hey, we want to put you in the Montana Football Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Take me through your thoughts.
Well, they kind of actually it wasn't a phone call that I got. I come out every year and I help one of my former teammates, Ty O'Connor, puts on a camp, the Leaders, Legends, and Legacy camp, and it's to help the youth around. And it's a great camp. It's more of a retreat because it really makes the guys bond and they stay overnight and all that. And we have speaker sessions. So I'm one of the speaker sessions, and they tell me, oh yeah, so you're speaking here, and this is what your topic is or whatever. So in my mind, I'm going over my speech of what I'm going to say and all that in my speaker session, and then one of the other coaches, Brian Pepper, comes up and.
Wait, they let Pepper coach?
Believe it or not, yeah. No, he's coach. He wasn't. I don't think he was coaching on that specific week, but he has coached the camp before, and he starts talking and make a long story short, they surprise me and they tell me in front of all these kids, and I'm thinking, I'm like, what? I was like just shocked. I was like, oh my goodness, and then. Of course, I can't remember anything of the speech. I don't know what to say, and everybody's around me and staring at me, and I'm just like. I really didn't know. I didn't know how to react, what to say. It was just caught me completely off guard. I had no idea. So that was how I found out. Sure. And, of course, they were all laughing at me and all my former teammates that were there just laughing and just, but it was a great, after I got my bearings, it was a great honor and, kind of had to go in different directions. Sure. But it was awesome.
You sit there and you wait the last 2 years and the day is finally here.
The
nerves still there? Because you got to speak tonight, right?
Yeah, I have to speak tonight. So hopefully there won't be any more surprises. But yeah, it's, I was telling Rick and some of those guys that helped put it on, it's like, yeah, third time's a charm. They've scheduled it 3 times now. Third time was the charm. So,
14 years in the NFL?
9 years. 9 years in the NFL.
Where did I get 14?
Well, I don't know. Coaching and yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that was 12 years with playing and coaching in the NFL, and then I've had 2 other years coaching in college. Okay. So I don't know.
But since retirement, like when you make that decision to retire as a player, how hard is it?
It's difficult because for me what it was is like your mind is fine, but my body was hurting, and I feel a lot better today than I did back then. And, so of course you think, oh yeah, I could probably still play. But then, as soon as you get out there and you start doing something, you're like, yeah, it's probably not. So I think nobody's ever ready to be done playing, because if you enjoy it, you just want to keep doing it, but you just can't do it at the same level. And that's probably the hardest part. And then, the loss of structure of your daily routine, that's what makes it difficult. Because when you're done, nobody cares about you.
Right.
So it's like you don't have an itinerary to follow. You don't have to be anywhere. And, for me, I'm lucky that I had my family and my daughters that gave me something to do, and I was able to spend time with them and just kind of continue to work in that aspect.
Favorite city to travel to while you played?
Ooh. Honestly, I enjoyed every single city I went for the most part because it was just something new, and it was a new experience, and try to see everything. You try to see what you can. You don't really have a lot of time, but, just on the playing side of it, the famous, Green Bay, Lambeau Field, that was amazing. Chicago was amazing, even Philly, and, there's really, all of it, I think, all those great cities.
What stadium did you enjoy the most?
What stadium did I enjoy?
Green Bay is pretty cool.
Green Bay, yeah.
Soldier Field, that's Lambeau, Soldier,
Yeah. I think Lambeau Field is probably just because of the history of it. And not only that, but it was the first time that I ever got to play linebacker in the NFL was at Lambeau Field on Monday Night Football against Brett Favre in the Green Bay Packers. So.
Did you get a hand on him ever?
No, but I did. I did make a tackle on my first play out there, which was nice.
Yeah, a lot of great stories, I'm sure. Favorite moment in the NFL
was probably that same moment.
Okay.
It's. You can't top that.
Was that your awestruck moment too?
Yeah. I'm not really an awestruck person, but for me it was like you know, I knew I was going to play linebacker that day. You know, I was preparing all week to play linebacker, and just, you know, when I go out there and very first play that I'm out there, I make a tackle. It was like man, this is football.
Right.
You know.
To get that like it's, they always say, like, to get that first hit in, and then you relax. Did you relax after that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No.
Then
absolutely.
it just second nature kicks in.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
So I've been coaching. Right now I'm not coaching. I'm probably going to take the fall off, or I am going to take the fall off. And but after I got done, I started coaching high school football. I did that for 3 years, and then decided that I wanted to pursue coaching at a higher level. And I went to Division II school in South Carolina, in Limestone College, and worked there for a year. And then, fortunately, after that, I caught on with the Dallas Cowboys. I spent 3 years in Dallas, 1 on special teams and 2 as an assistant linebackers coach, defensive assistant out there. And then last year I was fortunate enough to catch on at Vandy in an off the field role, but at least I was still helping with the football team, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Giving back to the game that gave you a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean it's such a good. I think football's gotten a lot of negative media throughout the years. I think you forget about the positives, and you know, every career, doesn't matter what it is, it's going to have something that is going to affect you maybe negatively, or could be, you know, you're risking something, whether, you know, if it's in construction or whatever it is, you know, you're traveling, whatever it is. And, you know, football's a little different, but I do think when you play the game the right way and you teach the game the right way, I think it will be a safe game. You know, there's always going to be the injury element to it, but I think you can minimize it when you play it the right way.
Love chatting with just greats that played in Bozeman, especially. I was the PA guy for a long time at Montana State, so
yeah, I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm not.
No, lots of fun. But hey, congratulations, appreciate it, and this is exciting. Enjoy tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Yep.
There you go. And yep, you can take him away. Yeah, in and out. That's what we're getting here, in and out. So lots of great guests here, and man, great event is going to be tonight. Of course, the big sellout last night, or banquet last night. So much fun. Just the stories that you're hearing, and of course, none of those are ever going to be told on the air. But great stories, great guys, and their families are here, and you hang out and just have a good time. So appreciate everything going on down here. This has been a fun weekend, and I mentioned it earlier, but because of our great sponsors, we get a chance to do this and bring the Major Mortgage Man Cave on the road and hang out and talk to Hall of Famers, man. This is really cool. Like I said, yesterday at the golf tournament out at Eagle Rock, and man, I played some of the best golf of my life. I don't know how. I don't know why. I just did, but it was great. And had a good time. If you missed anything from this, if you want to rewatch, go back to anything, jasonwalkershow.com is where we're going to have this, of course, stored for eternity, right? Is that how the internet works? Eternity. You get you're seeing some great folks here, and Shane Collins is here. He's going in. Brent Musburger, Victor Linskog's family here. It's so much fun. Had a couple of great conversations with Brent Musburger last night. The legendary Brent Musburger. Marty Morningweg, hanging out with him and his family the last couple of nights, and getting to know them. And of course, Bobby Cade still on the playing at Carroll College. He's got a senior year left. So he actually, it was funny, we were sitting there talking, and Bobby Cade Morningweg could actually have a 7, because he gray shirted his first year in college. And then he comes to Carroll, red shirts, and then he played 1 year, and then COVID hits, so he's got like 2 years. He could have 4 more years of playing. And he's like, no, I'm done. But this is cool, great, and that's what I enjoy. And I've talked about this on the show many times: is hanging out, talking to the families of people that we get to know. So that's what's, I love that. Absolutely love that. And, okay. I think we got another one coming over to join us. Why don't you pull out the chair there? How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Jason Walker.
How are you?
Good. Hey, tell me, take me through that call when you find out you're coming into the Hall of Fame here.
Well, I tell you what, it was a big honor for me. JD, he works at Universal Athletics. He gave me a call and said, "Hey, I'm the guy that made the call for you to get in," and I tell you, it was a real honor for JD to nominate me, and super proud to be amongst this elite group of guys.
I don't know if you could ask for a better group, right?
Well, I tell you what. We're not very good golfers. I found that out yesterday. But
I thought
tell you
all
what,
football players could golf.
only quarterbacks.
Right. Thank
Right?
you.
Only
That's all I've been
quarterbacks.
saying. Yes.
Yeah.
But how fun was yesterday, though?
You know what? I've been out of the game so long that it takes times like that to be able to reflect and realize, what the things I liked about the game were, and that was basically the relationships that you formed. And again, that just touched on a little bit yesterday with me. I caught up with some guys. I haven't seen Mitch Donahue since we played against each other, whether it was track or whether it was in football. Checking in on where old Kurt Scrafford's at and guys like that. So it was actually, weather couldn't have been better. Rick's done a heck of a job putting this thing together for us, so I want to shout out to him, Universal, the whole committee, and all the hard work they do to make this happen for us, because I really don't know. How many states have something like this?
I don't. Montana's one of the few, I think.
So what a great deal.
It is definitely. Long time since you've played, you said that, but how have you been spending retirement?
Well, I'm not retired, I tell you what. They don't pay slow white guys very much to play 3 years in the NFL, but it was a nice start. But I've been back in Bozeman ever since I got done playing. My wife and I had a couple of 2 great kids. I've been building houses for the last 20-some years. My wife's a realtor, and I tell you what, we just love that community there. The Gallatin Valley's been great to us. And to watch our kids grow, have success, watch their athletic careers, and watch them turn into great young men and women. It's just basically a full circle, seeing that happen. So super proud of that.
You forget how long ago you were a Bozeman Hawk. I mean, it was forever ago.
Yeah, I mean, no cell phones, no internet. I mean, how anybody found Shane Collins play football. I mean, that film back then was so bad. I think we only won 3 games our senior year in high school, even though we had 2 guys that played in the NFL. So me and Corey Widmer, who had a heck of a career at Montana State and went on to have, I think it was a 9 or 10 year career at the New York Giants. But it's amazing reflecting back on all that stuff and reflecting on all the people that had such a big impact on your lives.
Shane Collins, our guest here, Jason Walker Show. Favorite stadium you got to travel to?
That's a good one. Philly, no. New York, no. Dallas, definitely not.
So anywhere in the NFC East is out.
Gosh, I'd love to say San Francisco, but that we played them in a playoff game one year, and it rained 5 inches, and they had cat litter on the field, so I'm going to have to say a negative on that. But we did get to go back to my old college stadium there at ASU. I mean, that track for grass turf was fast, flat as a pancake, and super fun to play on.
Worst city you had to go to?
Philadelphia by far.
So the fans, those stories are real.
The fans, yes, the fans are brutal. If the Washington Redskins are going to Philadelphia and you dress up during Christmas and you dress up in a Santa Claus suit, they will beat you up. They will beat Santa Claus up. That's a fact.
So that is the worst. And you didn't like Dallas. I've always been a Cowboys fan, so.
Well, that's because if you're born and raised here, that's the only TV we're able to watch is the Dallas Cowboys on TV.
The Broncos. I was sick and tired of them. I mean, come on. That was brutal.
I mean, obviously the Cowboys, they were our big rival back then, and actually a teammate of mine at Arizona State, Darren Woodson, was a strong safety for us there, and he ended up getting drafted in the first round to Dallas. And I tell you what, that guy's a monster, great human being, great player. So it was fun after the games to touch base and say hi to him.
Favorite moment?
God, there's been so many positive ones. I mean, from the day I got drafted was one of my favorite moments. That for the first time I actually put on the. You go through all spring training and you wear this artificial Redskin stuff, and when you actually put on the real gear and lace it up for the first time in your own house there in old RFK, running out through that tunnel, hearing your name on the loudspeaker, seeing yourself on a big screen that you could actually see your face on, and see 70,000 people in old RFK is pretty special.
I'm asking the same question of everybody, but what was your awestruck moment? Like, you're looking across the line at some guy going, oh my gosh.
Well, probably my biggest awe moment as far as the size of a human being was probably not a football player. It was I was with Joe Jacoby and Charles Mann, and I don't even know where we're at, but Shaquille O'Neal comes out, and I'm telling you, Joe Jacoby, he's 6'8", 318 pounds. I mean, he could reach over across the bar and tap his own beer without standing up. His arms are so long. But, I mean, Shaq made him look tiny.
Man.
And to me, I go, wow, I'm glad I'm playing football because I could not compete in basketball. I mean, those guys are giants.
Yeah, there's some big dudes in football.
Yeah.
I mean,
I actually played. So I remember the Bobcats, when they won the national championship in 1984, they played Arkansas State, I believe it was. I think it was Arkansas State. Well, we had a guy named Ray Brown that was an offensive lineman for that actually played down in Bozeman in that game in '84. Wow. And Ray Brown, as far as a specimen was concerned, was not only was he a big human being, he was a great person, a heck of a player, but he was about 6'9", 320 pounds, and this guy had no body fat on him whatsoever. A big teddy bear until he got between the white lines, and the guy was just an animal.
Did you give him a hard time, though, for that '84 championship game?
No, because we beat him, so...
well, yeah, but you get to rub it in.
Well, I was a Pac-10 guy at the time.
I know you were, but
I do remember...
Bozeman guy.
I believe that game, it just got done snowing about 2 feet, which was kind of late in the year, but anyway, they pushed the snow back, but Ray, he just goes, I will never go to Montana again. I've never seen so much snow in my life, and I've never been so cold in my life. So Ray liked playing in the South for sure.
That is awesome. I got to let you run because I know you got other stuff and other
All right,
people to chat with.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Shane Collins joining us, a Bozeman Hawk, fellow Bozeman Hawk. He was a couple years older than me, but yeah, great time. So let's see here. So we're waiting on a couple others. Bob Beer's in the room. Dan Carpenter's here. Helena High Product. Missoula, Montana Grizzly. We'll chat with him. Brent Musburger over there as well. So you got the big thing comes up at 6 o'clock tonight. So if you are coming to tonight, make sure the doors open actually at 5, and there's a public meet and greet with everybody, which will be a fun time. But yeah, we mentioned the golf tournament yesterday. We had Casey Fitzsimmons, the Carroll Hall of Famer, on our team. Former Carroll coach Nick Howlett was on our team. And so we had 6-person, 4-man scramble with 6 of us. And you talk about specimens, Casey Fitzsimmons. And what a great guy. Can hit the heck out of a golf ball and still competitive, and all these guys. I mean, it was fun to hang out with everybody last night. But Casey Fitzsimmons, or yesterday on the golf course, good times. So I don't know who we're going to get next, but we'll get somebody. I got all those ones. So I have not, but I would Stan. Yes. Yes. I haven't gotten Musburger yet, or Bob. So.
I'll send Bob your
yeah, no worries. Coulter Nuan is everybody. He doesn't want to appear on camera. He just wants to make stuff up as he goes along here.
Hey, I'll say hi.
There you go. All right.
We'll see.
Nice job putting this thing together, man.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me. This is a cool setup. I need to get some of these for my stuff when we're on the road. This is sweet.
Yeah, no, it's just go to Staples. You mean
Easy.
SWX doesn't send you guys cameras to take on the road?
No comment. No comment.
But that's cool. You got your radio shows on TV.
Yeah, somehow, some way they put me on TV. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's good to be statewide. So
Should I turn the cameras off when you're talking? Are you nervous? Thanks for dressing up, by the way.
oh, of course, man. So who's been the best guy that's swung by here? Any good epic stories?
Not really. Just more of these relaxed feel. Like Shane Collins hated going to Philly.
Yep.
You know, as a Redskin, I said, favorite stadium that you went to, and he said not Philly, not Dallas, and basically not New York. So anywhere in the NFC East was out. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I mean, Redskins rivalries.
Right.
The Redskins are everybody's rival in that division. I guess the football team now, as it were. But regardless, yeah. I do it all the time. I can't get it figured out in my mind. I just keep calling them the Redskins. He played for the Redskins, so that's what it is.
Hey, why? So my golf team tied for first yesterday.
Yeah.
Why didn't we end up with the bottle of wine too? Just
There
Mick
was-
Durham's group gets it.
I know
We
there
were
was
all-
there was some sort of scorecard draw. I was not in on the determination here. If I was, I would have rigged it so that we got first because we got third instead. But you guys played well, so
We did.
it was.
Well, we
a
also
good,
had 6 of us.
well, that helps too. Several different putters definitely helps.
Oh yeah, you get a bunch of different reads for sure.
Who's the craziest story? Who's got the craziest individual story here? Do you think?
Well,
I mean, the fact that Shane Collins could have been an Olympian,
Right.
but instead was a second-round draft pick. I mean, he's got to be one of the great athletes ever out of Montana.
Joe Gibbs goes, "I'm not paying you to go to the Olympics."
Right, exactly.
I read that in your
Yeah,
your-
yeah.
No, that's when you're interviewing these guys. What do you enjoy about it?
I enjoy the full circle nature of it. Just the fact that so many of these guys' stories not started but took off in Montana, but also the appreciation that they have for Montana. I mean, I think that to the man, especially the guys that are in their later years, they all say, because most guys have been inducted into so many Hall of Fames by the time they get to this point, because this is a pretty new thing. We've only been doing this for 6 years. And I think they would all tell you that this one's distinctly different just because it reminds them of such great times in their lives, because most of these guys, their Montana connection was when they were in school in Montana, you know, when life was simple, at its simplest, you know. I mean, like Steve Okanowski, he told me nothing but fishing and hunting stories. There's no football stories. He was telling me about how great it was, you know, go walk the banks of the Blackfoot and fly fish. So I love it. I think that, I mean, for anybody that hasn't ever come to one of these, you should. And this is not even a shameless plug just because I'm on the board. If you love football and you love storytelling, this is one of the great events that there is, for sure.
Well, I think they're kind of holding back. They shared a lot of stories last night that we heard that we can't even.
You need Coach Beers, right?
I do need Coach Beers.
Oh, that's good.
But last night, some of those stories that we'll never be able to.
That's right. You can't ever repeat most of them. That's why the Friday night is a good thing for sure.
Yes.
I'm going to go get you Coach
All
Beers,
right.
and then maybe I'll swing by again.
Yes, definitely. Coulter Nuanez on the board here, and great times. Great times. So he does a great job putting everything together. So this is he helps with the media rooms, and yep, we're going to have another one over coming. Stan Linscott, the son of Victor Linscott, who's going in. How are you, sir? It's good to see you again.
Good to be seen.
Yep. Met you the other day. It's good to see you again.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
So tell me about your dad, Victor.
Well, he was born in Roundup, Montana, about an hour north here of Billings. And he entered high school at 6 foot tall, 140 pounds, a string beat.
Yeah.
He didn't like what he saw in the mirror. So he sent away mail order. A lot of people don't know what mail order is.
Yeah.
To get the Charles Atlas book on isometric exercise because he couldn't afford equipment. Isometric exercise is just resisting your own muscles. He graduated high school at 6'1", 190 pounds, and he was a wedge. He'd never seen a football. Roundup had shut down their coal mines, though there was no economy. So he moved up to Cutbank, where there was an oil boom underway. And while he was up there, 3 really good things happened. He got a job that paid. He got involved in American Legion athletics, basketball, baseball, and boxing. And he met my mom.
Well, that's
which
even
was,
the best thing.
Well, for me, that's for sure. So he really got involved in boxing. Tough man, liked to hit. And he had 19 amateur fights, won 18 of them. And my family oral history says that he became the 1938 heavyweight Western Region heavyweight Golden Gloves boxing champion. Now, as a result of this, a group of oilmen funded him to go to Southern California to be trained to be the Great White Hope, to beat Joe Louis. So he and my mom go down there, and he realizes, smart man, realized that he was at a disadvantage because he only had a high school education. So he went to Santa Ana Junior College to see if he could be a student. And it was one of those Ronald Reagan movie moments. He asked the lady how much it would cost. She told him how much. He said, I can't afford that, with a big slump. At that moment, walking by was the head football coach, Bill Cook. And he looks over and he sees this 200-pound, 6'1.5" wedge of muscle that wants to go to school there. And he goes over and puts his arm over Vic's shoulder and he says, Vic, son, no, he said, son, have you ever heard of the game of football? Dad said no. So he ended up getting a scholarship and he played 2 years of blocking back and linebacker. Wow. And that brought the attention of Stanford, who sent big Jim Reynolds down and said, Vic, you don't want to be a boxer and get your lights punched out and be a rummy hanging out around a gym, because that's the only thing you can remember. Excuse me. You want to come to Stanford, we're going to introduce the T formation with a man in motion. It's going to revolutionize football, and you're going to become a real stalwart star. So he was persuasive, and Vic went up and went to Stanford.
Oh, man.
And that's where he learned how to play center. And he became the first ever college-trained T formation to go into the NFL. Player, 8 years. Coach, from 51 to 68. And then he quit coaching and became a scout for his final 26 years of 45 in the NFL.
What's your favorite memory of those days?
I'm sorry?
What's your favorite memory of those days?
Well, I remember being 7 or 8 years old and having him punt snap to me. And the ball came back so hard, I learned how to catch it, but it would knock me back 3 or 4 steps every time the ball hit me.
Man.
Yeah. Fondest memory, I'm a freshman at Stanford, and we're at the end of spring ball, and we have a football game against the alums. And I kick off for the varsity. First time I get to put the uniform on. I get out on the field, and I line up to kick off, and guess who the middle man is on the front 5 of the receiving team? My daddy.
Oh.
Vic Linska. He's 45 years old. 44. And boy, we took out after each other like the hounds of hell were chasing us. And at the last incident, we both veered right, so we missed. I'm glad, because I'd probably still have body parts laying in the turf. Anyway, and then 5 years later, we both played for the alums. And he punted, or he snapped, and I punted.
Oh, cool.
So I got to play against my dad and with my dad.
That's super cool.
Not a lot of people get to do that.
No, not for sure. That's awesome. How much of his scouting stuff do you still have?
I have nothing. He had a form that was 16 inches by 14 inches with 1,648 pieces of information on it. And he had a sheet of that for every ball player that he scouted. So he spent a lot of time on the road. And he was interesting. He was one of the stalwarts of the entire scouting community. Mm-hmm. But he was different because he followed the tenets of the 10 thou shalt nots. He didn't brag on a guy what he could do. He talked to the managers, the equipment people, the trainers, and he found out what the guy couldn't do. So he was able to provide the other side of the coin to the people that were considering drafting a given athlete.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I know. What does it mean for the family?
I'm sorry?
What's it mean for the family to be here tonight? And
Vic is the only one in the extended family that has ever really done anything earth-shattering. So I have hosted everybody to come down there 10 and see the honor to their Uncle Vic or their Grandpa Vic or their great-grandpa Vic.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know you're super proud to talk about your dad.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely. I was very fortunate. He was gone most of the time, but he always found time to throw the ball around and help me with certain aspects of playing football.
and life.
And life, yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations to you, to the family, and your dad.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
It's a great pleasure to talk with you, Stan Lindskog, and talking about his dad, Vic. I mean, that's just super cool. Super, super cool. So as we wait for others, see if who we get next. This is awesome being here. So something on the screen. So see if Dan Carpenter wants to come over and chat. Hey, he's talking to Shane Collins. I think we're going to get Coach Bob Beers. Yep, he's coming over. So that's this will be fun because he's going to have some great stories.
Okay.
Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you doing, Jason?
Good. Living the dream, my friend.
Yeah. Me too. Uh-huh.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate
Long time coming.
it. No. Surprise.
What was that? When you found out, take me through that moment.
Well, Rick Helmus called me, and Mick Holeen first, and told me that I was selected, and it was humbling, and I was surprised. I thought, there's a lot of other people in the state that, I can think of that might be more deserving than me.
I don't think so.
Well, I know, but
You had a pretty good career, so you deserved it.
oh, thank you very much. Appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, no, it's this is super cool to chat with you. I got to golf with Nick Howlett yesterday, which is what's your Nick Howlett story that we can talk about?
Nick Howlett's story. He comes, we're playing Montana Tech, and he comes back, and Nick comes over to the sidelines, and he's frustrated because they're bringing the safety away from the running back. And he comes running over, Coach, the safety's coming down away from me, and he's blitzing off the weak side. And I said, well, then we're throwing hot, so don't worry about it, and we'll correct it at halftime. What do you mean? And I said, well, just don't worry about it right now. We'll take care of it at halftime. So at halftime, we go in, and we make the adjustment, and we go scat protection, and come back out. And he said, why do you do it at halftime? I said, so they can't adjust. What the hell don't you know? What do you get about this? Oh, man. Oh, I see. But that crew at Western was a great crew. They were a good football team. We had Jason Truman, our quarterback, and Nick Howlett was our running back, and we had receivers, Tommy Thomas and Rex Whitworth, and we had a whole bunch of receivers because we needed them. But they had great chemistry.
Yeah.
And they worked well together, and they got along well. They did a great job together. I mean, they took it very serious, and they were fun to coach. It was as much fun as I've ever had in football, working with those guys. They made me laugh, and he'd go into a meeting, and every one of them would have a pointer, and I'd be pointing on it was the day of the laser pointer. That was a new fandangle for coaching.
Oh, that's awesome.
You remember when the pointer came?
Oh, yeah.
And coaches all had them, and they were really, God, these are great. So I'd be sitting there and I'd say, okay, hey, Jason, when this safety comes down, pretty soon there's about 4 pointers All right, knock it off. And so I didn't even have to look. It was Truman, Howlett, and, Willis Taylor sitting in the back with her pointers rubbing around. I said, knock it off. And then they all shut them off.
That's awesome.
They were. So here's another one. On Wednesday nights, they'd always had a party. And I told them, there's no parties on Wednesday night in Dillon. I said, the football team, no go. Bars are off limits. You're going to do it the right way. So I go out fishing out in Glen, and I came back in, and old Joe Grogan had the Glen bar. So I come into the Glen bar, and I sit down. Joe Grogan comes over and says, Coach, how you doing? I said, good, Joe. Joe's about 88, and he'd been there forever.
Right.
So Grogan comes over and says, I just want to tell you, you got the greatest kids. He said, your players are gentlemen. They are the best behaved people I've ever had. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, they're here every Wednesday night. I said, God, I hope they have a bus. And he says, oh, no, there's always 2 or 3 of them that don't drink, and they drive everybody back. But he said, they're the nicest. I said, yeah, okay, thanks, Joe. I appreciate the tip.
It's one of those I wish I didn't know now what I did then.
Oh, yeah. It says, do I say anything to them or just let it go? So I let it slide for a while until after the season. I said, you buttheads.
Exactly that way?
Yeah, real close.
Okay. Oh, man.
I always had William Pales, too, to pick on. He was one of my favorites at Montana because he couldn't keep his hands inside, so I taped them together. I wouldn't let him practice. He couldn't pull them apart. I taped his hands in here. I said, I'm sick and tired of looking at you grabbing shoulders all day.
Oh, my gosh.
I taped his hands and made him go through practices with his hands taped together.
Oh, that is awesome.
Stuff like that.
Keep telling these. These are great stories.
Oh, no, that's all I got.
These are a couple that we can share. There's others, like last night. I mean, I'm hearing all of these stories that we can't talk about.
Oh, no. I'm sure that.
And that's what's fun.
Yeah. Hearing the ones you can't. And, I worked for Jack Elway for, quite a few years at Denver and in the World League. And he was kind of a guy I learned a lot of football from, and the passing game and protections and stuff like that. And it was always exciting working for Jack because he always had great stories and about growing up in Hoquiam, Washington. And his son was our ball boy. And I always relate to Gil Brandt.
Oh, yeah. Love Gil.
Yeah, Gil's a great person. He's a good friend, and I've known him for quite a few years. And Gil told me about the time he came in and was scouting at the University of Montana when I was playing. And he went up to our trainer, Nays Reinhardt, and he said, Nays, who's the best prospect you got? Who should I look at? Nays looked around, looked at our team, and he says, look at the ball boy. He's the best player we got. It was John Elway.
Well, yeah. That's fantastic.
The ball boy's the guy that's he's got a chance.
He was okay, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
He turned out all right.
Fine. And, Gil told me that story, and I said, well, I was there. And he said, yeah, we went right by you. we didn't even stop.
Oh, my gosh. That's
But great. He was pretty good. We used to stick him in the locker and let him scream.
Way too much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Worst city coaching in Montana that you had to go play or coach in?
The what?
Worst city in Montana that you had to go coach in?
None. They've all been great. I mean, I've never had a bad city in Montana.
Well, there's not really, but there's not.
You mean?
You go in as a coach of.
Oh shit! Shoot.
No, you can say that.
Oh,
That's fine. It's
this
internet.
is a pot. I'll tell you, the worst is Bozeman. I have a lot of friends in Bozeman that have nicknames for me.
I'm sure.
When I was coaching the line at Montana, and I had lots of favorites that they'd sit right behind our bench.
Sure.
And of course, we would get in hi, how are you doing? Good to see you. How's the family? Stuff like that. Something about, I didn't know, some of the names they called me I didn't know that I had a big asshole. But I do now after coaching in Bozeman. Because he called me a big asshole all the time. But it was good to, make friends there.
Sure, yeah. No, you make a lot of friends.
Yeah,
on the sidelines.
Yeah, you do. You make a lot of different friends on the sidelines.
That's good
And they're
stuff.
nice people, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
At home.
Yeah, every one of them.
I'd like to burn a couple of their houses down, but you don't say that in Butte. I got news for you. Not after the M&M went down. Nobody says that.
No.
It's,
Did you like going to play at Tech or coach at Tech? Coach against them?
Yeah, we always enjoyed going up there. I'll tell you a funny Bob Green story.
Oh, I'm sure there's.
Oh, he's one of my favorites. But we're playing him, right? And Bob Green would run around and scream, hey, guy, look out for the reverse on the kickoff. Every kickoff, he's screaming, watch out for the reverse. Look out for the trick play. Look out. My son's returning kickoffs, Bobby.
Yeah.
And we're at Western. So Bobby stops. He calls the official over. He says, just a second. Coach Green. He goes, yeah, Bobby Beers, what's up? He said, it's my dad you're coaching against. He's not that tricky. And he goes, thank you, Bobby Beers.
Did you do the reverse?
No.
You should have.
No. We did the what did the kids call it? They call it the star death, where we hid the ball, ran up, and they caught it on a short kick.
Right.
They all bunched up. They ran in, passed the ball around, then sprinted out, and it didn't work. No, we didn't have a lot of guys with great hands, and they were fumbling the ball around. They call it the star. You'd have to ask Howlett.
Okay.
But the Death Star or something like that. And I let him do it. Bob Green says, I thought you said he wasn't that innovative. He said, I wasn't. The kids made it up.
Oh, that is fantastic.
But, yeah, they were a fun group, that Western crew.
Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine.
Then I loved the offensive linemen at the University of Montana. I had Chad Germer, Kurt Scrafford, Rick Erbs, Jay Fagan, Tim Polich, all those guys. They were great to coach. They were talented. They made you a good coach.
Sure.
Guys like that. Has nothing to do with ability as a coach. It has everything to do with your ability to select the right players.
Well, you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, well, they were good.
There you go.
They were a hoot.
You're a hoot. I know you got to go talk to others, but.
I'm going to go talk to Bill Bighouse.
Oh, gosh.
Do you know Bill?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I told Bill one time the Polish soccer team was in Hermiston. He was a sports editor there when I was coaching high school ball. And he went running down to the field. I used to call him Scoop. So he was a young reporter, fresh out of college, and he had his notepad. So I told him, I said, this is Belmer Snowclass from the Polish soccer team. We're down here playing in Hermiston, practicing, and we're going to play the Pendleton team, and we're on a tour of the West. We would like to get some publicity. Could you come down to the field and we will give you an interview. We would appreciate it. He runs down there, and there's no soccer teams. So I see him, and I go out, and he says, well, Bill, where's the soccer team at? He never swears. He never says a bad word. But I had him running all over Hermiston looking for the soccer team. And we've been very close since then for probably 40-some years now. But he got me back because when I went to Westland, Oregon, he called me and said he was from the Westland Police Department to come down and turn my driver's license in. So he got back.
Of course.
So, yeah, it's been an exciting career. It's been fun. Met a lot of great people. Still meeting a few.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So that's it.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, have a great night tonight.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people out there. I stutter in front of those. You know, I don't see anybody here. So.
Well, Howlett's going to be there, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
So just,
I could tell a couple Howlett stories.
Oh, please.
Oh.
If you got time, I'm good.
Well, Howlett, Nick Howlett is one of the really good minds in football. I mean, really
He
was.
wasn't when he played for you.
Oh no, no, he was one of them. But he would always ask questions. That's what makes him a great
Right.
coach.
Sure.
You know, he would always question and always wanted the right answers. Why am I blocking this? And most of the time, he missed the block. So,
Didn't matter any.
Yeah, it didn't matter anyway. What are you concerned? And when he ran around the corner, it was because he had no, hips. So he had to wave his arm, get around the corner. And then he had great hands. We'd throw him the football when we had to.
He's not a great golfer, though.
No, I cannot
I had him
imagine.
on my team yesterday.
Yeah, I heard they had to scratch a lot of the language out when they filmed it. Is that true?
I think. Well, our group was pretty. Well, no, it was. Yeah, there was language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Fitzsimmons was there too.
Oh, yeah.
With Casey and Howlett.
I coached Casey.
Yeah.
No, I did. He's 11 years old. We took a football camp, went up to Chester, Montana.
Yeah.
And Casey was there. And I got to Detroit, and he came up to me and he goes, Coach Beers. And I said, yeah, Casey Fitzsimmons. I said, oh, yeah, Casey, how are you? He says, great. You coached me in a football camp in Chester, Montana. How's Coach Clute? I said, last time I checked, he was fine. I can't believe you were from Chester? He goes, yeah.
Yeah. He had a pretty good career.
He had a great career.
Great guy.
Oh, yeah, he's salt of the earth. Of course, he's from Chester, so can't get in trouble in Chester.
No.
Well, you can get in trouble anywhere. I proved that.
You get in trouble in Dillon for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
in a heartbeat. Really
no,
quick.
but they never party in Dillon.
No.
Never.
They didn't. They were in Glen.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Or Pony. Don't forget the Pony bar's still there.
Right. Yeah. They didn't go down to Lima, did they?
They never mentioned that.
Okay.
And I never went to Lima. So.
Okay. Just broke my pen.
But, there's my grandson.
Oh, well, I'll let you go.
He's out there. He's going to see his parole officer. He's 8 years old. So, yeah.
Coach,
Thank
great
you.
to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you.
Oh, goodness.
Hold on, I got it.
Oh, man, that was awesome. Hey, Coulter. Brent and Dan next, if we can. Brent? Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. See, Coach. Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to stories about Howlett. Man, Nick Howlett, great guy. Love Coach Howlett. And man, yeah, you talk about one great quarterbacks coach, one great coach, offensive mind, and great guy. Had fun with him on the golf course yesterday too, and the group that we played with. There was 3 guys from the Billings area, and they were having fun. It was just a good time, and beautiful day yesterday. Beautiful day. So, yeah, see if we can a couple others here, and if not, then we'll be good. And again, if you miss anything, just make sure you go to jasonwalkershow.com if you want to rewatch any of this or just catch up. So. Yeah, we'll see what happens and who we get. Hey, Dan, can we get you real quick? Sure. Oh, man. Jason Walker.
Jason, hey, how you
It's
doing?
nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Honor, really. Surprised, but truly honored. Great names before us, and great group of names together now. So it really is amazing. It's amazing to get all these guys together in a group, and in Billings, and it's a special night, and been here last year, or 2 years ago, I suppose, for the last event, and I'm super excited to be able to come back in the future.
Yeah, no, this is great. The last night was a blast. The stories that are being told that we can never share, and those are super fun.
That's truly the best part of it. You get to interact with guys, that usually you see for 10 minutes after a game or before a game or something or whatever, but now you get together and you get to share the stories. Those are always the best parts. You get to hear stories that you'd never hear anywhere else. So it's great to get guys together.
Yeah. Hey, when you're playing at Helena High, did you dream that you were? I mean, could you have imagined the career you were going to have?
No, never. I was just an average boy that grew up in Montana. I wasn't. There's nothing special about anything I did. I was just. I never really considered it would happen. Everybody, all the kids have dreams.
Sure.
Me included. Basketball. I was Michael Jordan when I played basketball. I was. It didn't matter. Who. Baseball, you're always going to hit the game-winning grand slam with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, and it's just, every kid's got all those dreams. So, no, it was truly amazing that something like that actually happened.
Favorite story you can tell about playing in the NFL?
Yeah, that you can tell. You have to say that part, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let me narrow. So, what was your aha moment? Like, I've arrived.
I don't know. I think it's just when you walk out for the first game, and walk out on the field, and as a kicker, obviously I'm out earlier, and it's like, so I could get that aha moment out of the way, I guess, a little earlier than the rest of the guys. So getting out there and just looking around, and you look at these stadiums and they seat up to 80,000 more, and it's amazing. And you see them filled up with people screaming, and so I think that was kind of the moment. It's like, oh yeah, wow, look at this place. This is pretty neat. I actually get to play here, and all these people are going to stare at me, and then you go, oh, that's kind of oh, geez, well, no. All right, I should stop thinking about that. Okay, back to football.
It's a little different than playing a vigilante.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a little different, but University of Montana, that's a great place to prep for the future there. It's a great venue, great fans, great place to play, and still one of the loudest places I think I've ever been.
Yeah, I've never been to a game there.
Oh man,
I was the PA announcer for the Bobcats.
I said earlier that if you haven't been to a game there, it's something to experience. And I'm guilty. I haven't been back for a game since I left, and every year, every fall, I'm going. I got to pick games, get there, and something always comes up, and it's getting harder and harder, but I got to get out there and go visit again.
Well, maybe we'll go together because I've never been.
I could show you around.
I'm sure. Well, I was the PA guy in Bozeman, so with the Bobcats. For 16.
That's kind of tough then. Can't be 2 places at once.
Well, that, and it's the school across. It's the other school.
Yeah, across the way, the ones we don't talk about.
Yeah. This is just awesome. Did you golf yesterday?
I did not. Okay. No. It was busy time, and back home, at the ranch, and so just animals to take care of, and it's tough to get away, and Oh, we would have had to come down probably a whole day ahead in advance, you know. So we came down, make it here for the VIP party last night, and like I said, get to listen to some stories, tell a couple, and and enjoy the night.
What's the hardest you got hit? Because kickers aren't known for being super tough.
I probably did it to myself, you know, trying to tackle somebody or something. That's probably the worst time, you know. That's yeah. Well, there's a reason that some of the guys just get out of the way. You know, we always look like fools half the time. Well, that's because everyone else are, you know, athletes, and
You're kickers.
we're
Kickers are athletes too.
We're made to, yes, we're athletic just in a different way.
Yeah, Rory Perez when he was punting for the Cats, so punters are people.
Yeah, well, we are. Different breed, but we are. You know, I mean, well, and I laugh. You get to the NFL, you say, oh yeah, well, yeah, that guy that you kick the ball to, he gets paid to make people miss. That can run really fast and tackle and practice all that stuff. Well, we don't.
Yeah. you don't even get to hang out with the team.
You know, we don't practice the tackling and all that stuff, and we're not fast. Some are fast. I'm not fast, but you know, so I don't feel that bad if they make me look like a fool.
Okay, how many did you have to try to tackle?
Oh, not too many. Not very many.
When you see that happen and you go, "Oh, I'm gonna have to go make. I'm gonna have to get involved."
I'm gonna go make a fool of myself. I mean, well, and you get to that stage, it's, you know, usually you're the last one,
right.
or anything. Slow them down, let somebody else catch up, you know, or whatever you can do. I mean, anything. Grab a shoelace. I don't care. Jersey. Just get something to get them down, get it out of the way. But no, it's not a good feeling, because usually, like I said, you're going against one of their best players. They get paid to make other guys in the NFL miss, and not
right.
You know, not kickers who don't practice that. So yeah, it's not a great feeling.
So did you get like sideswiped by some big old dude? And
No, I don't. Honestly, the biggest hit I ever remember was from high school, and same thing. I did it to myself. I was running down, blocking on a play, and the running back came up the sideline or something, and I peeled back, and yeah, I think that was the hardest hit, and I did it to myself. But you know, I don't know. I don't know. No, nothing I really remember too much.
It's good.
Yeah, it is good, I guess. Yeah, it helps when you don't have to scramble the brains.
Which is, that's definitely a good thing. Hey, I know you guys got to run, get ready for the meet and greet and everything, but congratulations. Enjoy the night tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And thanks for joining us.
Yep, thank you.
Hey, we've had a great time. We're going to go ahead and wrap up as we get ready to go to the banquet. So we got to tear down everything. But again, if you missed anything, you want to rewatch, go to jasonwalkershow.com. And we appreciate everybody stopping by, and appreciate all the great work that's been done here. And can't wait to get back here next year already. And it's going to be a good time. And we're going to have big announcement coming up, I think September 10th. We'll keep you updated. I think we're gonna break who's going to be next year's inductees on September 10th, I believe. That's the plan. So anyway, all right. That'll do it from the Billings Hotel and Convention Center. Thanks to Mandy and her entire banquet staff. And thanks to everybody, Rick and Elaine and Coulter and Bill and the board. Been fun. We'll be back Monday with our Auto Concepts Performance of the Week. And who knows who's going to. I mean, we'll rerun some of this, too. It'll be fun. So join us Monday, Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Major Mortgage Man Cave back home on Monday. And until then, we'll see you. Thanks for joining us.